the actual people who are organizing our work should not be interfered with. Should just work quietly. When the work is over, the country will know the heroes. And in this work, we have our own methods of keeping information so that at an opportune time, history will be told. And having organized, we then must fight. It's pretty much the same as in any other situation. I always tell my people, even if you want to go to war, war with guns, you first get fighters who are determined to fight. You assemble them, organize them in groups and train them. Even ours will be trained. Once you are organized, you inform us, we will provide you with those to give you the skills of how to fight in any situation that we shall be fighting in. Fighting is now the battles. When we have people who are ready, then they can engage in battles with those who have captured us. And battles, as I have said, are of a very wide range. When I talk about battles, I don't mean we will get guns and advance with guns. That is only one form of a battle. There are many forms. And as I have very clearly said, I have not excluded any. But once our people are ready, then we can start working on those who are disturbing us. And the details of how that gets together, again, we shall be informing each other through our networks going to embark on. The first one is that we have to fight for survival. There is a very, very serious situation in the country now where many people are simply failing to survive. And this has been precipitated by the COVID pandemic. The lockdown was very disastrous to our people. I'm sure you have been reading or seeing wherever you are that the number of suicides has sharply increased. The numbers of people who are burning themselves, pouring fuel on themselves and setting themselves ablaze has shot up. Since that young man, Hussein Walugembe, burnt himself in Masaka, just in Kampala here, the numbers that I have been recording and their names, I have them. There are already 8 people who have burnt themselves in Kampala. Just within these months. You go to any police station, there are hundreds, thousands of these border-borders from these poor people, many of which they get on loans. Those border-borders must be freed. There must be a demand that all borders at our police stations must go. Let the owners come and pick them. They must go. We are at war. You don't torture people even during war. So we are going to organize the sectors. The students who were sent home, who don't know what will happen. Because there is no plan. Because the money, that they don't want to put money where people are. Their own children are in schools. on internet, on what, some abroad, somewhere, you know. Every Ugandan child has a right to education. There was already a big gap between the children of ordinary people and the children of others, of our captors. This is now, you know, widening. So we must organize students in all colleges, in all secondary schools. They must stand up and demand that the country works for them. Must be a very clear demand. The health workers, all this money they are using for the campaigns, they borrowed it as COVID money. So there is a lot of desperation that we have to deal with to survive. Because even struggles, you must be alive, you know that struggle. Dead people never fight. So there is an urgent need to tackle the survival question that has been imposed by COVID. People have no food. Here in Kampala, in Uganda, people have no food. They are sleeping with empty stomachs with their families, with their children, just drinking water. Now that is very, very dangerous, especially when there is COVID. Because as I have been telling you, the most important defense against COVID is a strong body. If COVID finds you already hungry, you are gone. You don't even go to reach the hospital. People left and right are being thrown out of houses. They have no rent. They have no rent because their means of paying rent was destroyed. They were locked in their homes without, it was not their choice. They were imprisoned in those homes. Can you take me to Rizal and charge me rent for living in your prison? You know? People were imprisoned in their homes for 3 months. But now they are being tortured because they have not paid rent for their imprisonment. The one who imprisons must pay. If you take away the freedom of somebody, you pay. You buy me food. You can't ask prisoners in Ruzira to feed themselves. How? If you imprison me, you feed me. You dress me. That's why prisoners have clothes of the prison. There must be wage bill support to employers so that people can be paid even when they are not working at the moment. Maybe you are an employee of a hotel. A hotel has been closed all of a sudden. The hotel must be helped to keep on paying those it was employing. So that is a general aspect. We are going to struggle for a general aspect of our people. But we are also going to organize specific groups to struggle for themselves who were hurt by this situation. For example, those in the transport industry, you know, again, who were shut. Passenger transport. The road is continued working. But passenger transport, border, taxis, shut for months. They have loans. They have workers. They must be helped. They won't get help unless they fight for it. So what we are going to be doing is to organize them to fight for their help. If they are not able or willing to fight for their help, that is their matter, but we shall help to organize them to fight for their survival. Even those who are picking it from Mr. Museveni and his friends, they are brokers. If they are not careful, they will get consumed with the ones who took it. People are dying. The workers in general who have their money in NSSF, they have been begging. They are in parliament, I don't know they are where, now they were talking, I don't know, 50%, I don't know, half time, I don't know what. This is their money. It's not a privilege to give it to them. It's their money, which they are keeping with you. Why should they die of hunger when you have their money? Even if NSSF is closed, let it close and people survive. Is it an end in itself, or it is supposed to help people survive? So there shall be somebody working with the students. There shall be somebody working with bodabodas and taxis. There will be somebody and buses. There will be somebody working with the tenants and landlords. There will be somebody, so that we coordinate whatever support you need to organize. We shall provide the support so that this matter is solved once and for all. This is the immediate. As I have said, immediate is about survival, to effect change in the country. That's the intermediate plan. In the immediate, these demands, if they don't want us to reach them, they can throw all these things at us. We shall be, if they can start distributing food tomorrow, then we will say, okay, now that one has come. If they can immediately deal with the rent of our people, we shall say, okay, let's see how this one is sorted. So the immediate ones, Museveni should throw back the 300 billion to us, and the 1,000 they took the other side, let them throw it. And then we can say, okay, wait a moment now. So that is the immediate. The intermediate is, however, to remove the system of injustice, the system that has caused all this. And that removal of that is also what the election is about. Now, some of you have been indeed interrogating us. If we are going to be fighting with Plan B, why is the party president of FDC and the chairman contesting to get a flag bearer to go to the election? There has been that question. This is because both approaches can be used in the solving of the change of the leaders. Both can work together. How? First of all, as I have said, for us, we want to turn the whole country into fighters. But as I have been saying, every fighter can vote. Actually, a fighter is the one who has a vote. Non-fighter may not have a vote. Frighten him or her, even on the way to the polling station, he say, what I have seen there, let me go back home. But a fighter will fight all the way to the box, and will fight on the box to make sure that the vote is counted. So in the election, actually, we need fighters even more than just the people who come timid to cast a vote. It is found to be said, I am a nobody in this country. I am not a leader of anything. Our government is not recognized by those who captured the state. So as soon as I get out of the gate, they are waiting for me with a baton to hit my head. But a candidate, if they say they are organizing an election and they organize the election for their own purposes, not for ours, but even when they are organizing it for their own purposes, because they want to pretend that there is something where everybody may participate. They create a window where you can stand and say something. And it's really a small window. But we can use that small window, and we should. You can see now they are saying that everybody should observe COVID. If you are found with a small meeting, you are arrested. I was seeing the other day that they arrested this man of Nakaseke, Rutamaguzi, with just a small meeting. But last night I was seeing a huge convoy of Rukutana. Rukutana with the songs, with dancers, with women. We have two forms of organization on this side. One are networks of leaders that are publicly known and seen, and who publicly champion the cause of our struggle. And the people's government is in that kind of role with its officials. We have a cabinet, we have people's assembly at the national, at the region, at the district. We have leadership that is known. We are in the process of reviewing how that is structured. And when that process is completed at an opportune time, we shall also communicate it. But we have a leadership that is visible, that is public. But the bulk of our organization must not be seen. This is extremely important.